All right, guys, it is day 30 of our 31 days of mindfulness and motivation. And let me tell you, it's been an amazing journey thus far. Today's clearly going to be no different. This is Do Work Podcast. Do Work Podcast is a weekly podcast where we discuss all things mindset, motivation, entrepreneurship, and how to live the best version of your life possible. So today is day 30 of our mindfulness and motivation series. And the topic today is the new you. So every year at my fitness club, we do an event in January, a class contest. And for 2022, the shirts we did were New You in 2022. But I want to take that a step further because as we embark on our journey, as personally or professionally, a lot of people want to remind us of who we used to be, which is terrible because, if you're not growing, it essentially means you're dead. You're not changing. Growth shows life. So when people try to say to you, for example, Diva 15 years ago is not Diva now. And even when I look at some of my old videos, the subject matter hasn't changed. I still was speaking positivity, just a little different. But Diva now is not Diva 15 years ago. Diva when she was growing up in North Philly is not Diva now. But people will always try to take you back to that place. So as you grow and develop, they're not going to give you accolades for where you are at the moment. They're going to say, I remember when you used to. They're not going to congratulate you on your growth thus far. Or they congratulate you and then give you a backsided comment. It's great you do the gym thing and the speaking thing, but I remember when you used to do this. And we've all had it. We've all heard it. People do not want you to leave where they know you from. And the reason is because they're still stuck there. They're still in this place. They're still in the past. They're still hung up on what used to be. So for them, your growth is a reminder that they haven't done shit. Full transparency. That's what your growth is a reminder. It's like, wow, he's growing, she's growing. So, but I'm still here. Don't let people pull you from the new you. Don't let them bring up your old character and your old mistakes. Because I've noticed the more you grow and the more you succeed, people will remind you constantly of your past failures. Now, anybody who is on a journey for growth is clearly aware of what our past failures are. We work on them, we build on them, we change. We use them to help us adapt and grow. But negative people will constantly remind you of how terrible you were, how messed up you were, the big mistake you made, how you could have did it better, instead of congratulating you and accepting you for where you are in that current moment time in your life. The new you is what's important. The old you is in the past. So do not let them bring the old you into the equation. Don't. And if they start to, I'm telling you right now, that's not a supporter, that's a hater. Supporters don't bring up things like that. They want to encourage you. They want to inspire you. They want you to keep doing and being and growing. Someone who's a hater or someone who doesn't support, they will constantly remind you of every terrible mistake you've ever made on your growth journey and who you were and why you're not that special now that you've grown and progressed. And like I said earlier, you left them where they were. They don't like that. Now, this happens everywhere. This happens in the workplace quite often. You get promoted. And like, well, I remember when you used to work here. You're right, I did, but now I'm here. It happens in relationships. I remember when you used to do that thing that used to bother me. You're right, but I no longer do that. So why are we addressing it? It's because it makes people feel good to tear other people down. It really does. They get joy out of it. Sick, twisted, I know, but they get joy out of it. They get joy out of tearing other people down. They would rather discuss your flaws and your failures than your success and your potential future. The new you is what's important. The new you is what you work on daily. The new you is what keeps you moving forward. The new you is what separates winners from losers, because losers are always worried about the old them. They're always stuck in that past mindset. But the new you is ready to really make some changes and grow. So what you're going to have to do first and foremost is separate yourself from those who still discuss and live in the past. I don't have anyone in my immediate or even extended circle who is talking about the past. And definitely not speaking on negative things they've done in the past over and over again. Everybody in my circle is focused on the future. Remember, on one of the days we spoke about in our 31 days of motivational mind, we talked about your circle, your 5 friends, 5 people you spend the most time with. You're a sum of them and their actions and thoughts. They influence you, whether you want to admit it or not. That's why you guys all hang together. So, are the people in your circle being supportive of the new you, or are they constantly trying to drag you back into the old you? Are they supportive because you got to go to bed early, because you got to get up early, because you've been working on a really big project and you're trying to really impress your bosses, or you're building something just for your own? Are they supporting you, or are they like, nah, she acting new. She going home. She's going to bed early now. Pay attention to that. Because sometimes the hate is not as silent as you think. It's right there. Sometimes the jealousy is not as silent as you think. It's right there. Stay with the new you. They're going to want to pull you back into the old you, but stay with the new you. Work on the new you. Perfect the new you. Use that as a space and an opportunity to, again, separate yourself. We know who you used to be, and let's be honest, nobody cares. Anyone bringing up old stuff is someone who's hating on you, either secretly or openly. Because people who support you, they don't do that. They don't bring up the old stuff because it doesn't matter. What matters is who you are now and in this moment, and how you're going to impact others to be better, and how you're going to improve yourself and make yourself better. That's what's important. So if anything outside of that is happening, that's not where you want to be. That's not the space you want to be. I need you to focus on the new you. I need you to work on creating the new you. Now, the new you, understand, that changes from moment to moment. Sometimes it changes daily, weekly, hourly. You're always working and perfecting on being the new you, the better you, the improved you. The Pokemon best version ever you. That's what you're working on. So I ask you, are you working on becoming the new you? Or are you being content being the old you because it's comfortable and people accept that version of you? They may not accept who the new you is. So you rather sit back here and play small because it's easy, instead of taking an opportunity to be the new you and see where it takes you. I challenge you this today. I really do. I want you to start working on a new you. And I want you to pay attention to who supports you in that process and who doesn't. I'm telling you, people show their hand all the time. It's just usually we're too blind to see it. All right, family. Do Work Podcast is a weekly podcast where we discuss all things motivation, mindset, entrepreneurship, and how to live your best life possible. This is day 30 of our 31 days of motivation and mindfulness series, and it's no different than any other day, except it's the 30 day. That's what we are. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the website, divarichards.com. We send out a bi-weekly newsletter, and don't be afraid to send me your questions and comments. The month of November, we are going into our Viewer's Choice series. What does that mean? That means you get to send in questions and comments, and I'll address them on the podcast every week. All right, guys. Remember, don't forget. Did I even say it's in day 29? I don't know, but I'm saying it now. All right, guys. Remember, nothing changes unless you do. Nothing changes unless you do the work. This was day 30.